This is NTA News at 9. Time for an hour and a half of stories from within and outside the nation. We've gone the extra mile to bring to you the story behind the story. Issues confronting Nigerians in their daily grind, the triumphs and the travails. Our lenses remain unwavering in its focus on the truth or the barricades hindering the truth. Tonight, food for thought. Vice President Kashim Shettima calls on key stakeholders to partner Nigeria in building sustainable food systems in Africa.
Our agriculture should be market-driven, not about handouts. And the whole mantra is on increase in yield.
Angry waters, devastating floods render hundreds homeless in Adamawa. Indigents blame miners. Another boat mishap, Taraba citizens and government insist on enforcement of safety regulations on inland waterways. A positive change in outlook. Ex-militants now leading progressive ideas after rehabilitation in Cross River State. And on business, Musa Abubakar will be tracking the top gainers on the stock exchange and new businesses attracting investments. On sports, Vadia Adeleye has a preview of some top competitions on the continent. It's a loaded lineup. And as we say on this shift, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I'm Yenri John, and this is News Extra. Welcome. Let's set sail tonight, and we begin from Addis Ababa, where Vice President Kashim Shettima has called on global stakeholders to deepen cooperation with Nigeria in rebuilding sustainable and inclusive food systems across Africa. He made a call during a panel on country perspectives, government-led strategies, and regional frameworks during the United Nations Food Systems Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila brings us details.
A comprehensive strategy to address food security challenges, which mostly impact vulnerable citizens in conflict-affected regions. Vice President Kashim Shettima said President Tinubu's bold national strategy, including the declaration of a state of emergency on food security and the rollout of systemic reforms, was aimed at transforming agriculture into a resilient, youth-driven, market-based engine of economic growth.
Our agriculture should be market-driven, not about handouts. And the whole mantra is on increase in yield, because entrepreneurial capitalism is embedded in the very psyche of the average Nigerian. But what they are lacking is the wherewithal to place them on Jeffrey Sachs' pace ladder of development. And the whole mantra is on increase in yield.
Meanwhile, on the margins of the summit, Vice President Kashim Shettima held a high-level bilateral meetings with top executives of key global food and development agencies, including the Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization, President of the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and the Executive Director of the World Food Programme. He sought the organization's partnership in reviving the Lake Chad region, enhancing all-year farming, and supporting the Green Revolution project of the federal government. The organizations pledged continued commitment to work with the Nigerian government in all areas needed, such as school feeding, nutrition, and support for displaced communities. Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
And back home, a two-day interactive session held by Sir Amadu Bello Memorial Foundation in Arewa House, Kaduna, has passed a vote of confidence in the Tinubu-led administration. The communique equally called for an increase in economic and security reforms to sustain the gains recorded within 2 years. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports on the highlights of the two-day government citizens engagement.
The NSIB Act 2022 transitions the Accident Investigation Bureau from investigating air accidents to a multimodal transportation investigation body now known as the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau.
What I have
The thrust of the NSIB Amendment Bill is to move the operations of the Bureau to the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, but the public hearing triggers diverse reactions.
By putting them under the Ministry of Aviation, is limiting their ability to work. Dislocating the Bureau from the Aviation Ministry will severely erode this synergy, disrupt coordination, and create bureaucratic gaps that could delay responses to critical safety events.
The transfer of the NSIB to the presidency aligns with global best practices. It is also an opportunity to strengthen the Bureau's independence.
Once it is situated within the executive arm of government, you cannot get the independence we're talking about. It is only the law that can make it really stand as an independent body.
The Joint Committee's decision on the bill will be guided by expert opinions.
At another public hearing by the House Committee on Federal Polytechnics and Higher Technical Education, lawmakers supported the establishment of vocational institutions to engage the teeming youth population.
That will empower technicians and mid-level personnel. We will act as effective catalysts for rapid industrialization and development.
To ensure that our younger ones acquire skills which they can use either within or outside the country.
The proposed institutions are the Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skills Acquisition, Zaki Biam, Benue State, the National Institute for Technical and Vocational Education, Bogoro, Bauchi State, and the Federal Vocational and Skills Acquisition College, Ilaro, Ogun State. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Well, thanks, Mitaire. That report was on the public hearing on NSIB Amendment Bill. The report by Salihu on the engagement with Northerners would come in the course of this bulletin. But moving on now, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has called on parliamentarians all over the world to stand in partnership and commit to peace, justice, and shared destiny. He stated this in his remarks at the ongoing 6th World Conference of Speakers of Parliaments hosted by the Inter-Parliamentary Union, IPU, in collaboration with the United Nations, Geneva, Switzerland, with the theme, A World in Turmoil, Multilateralism for Peace, Justice and Prosperity for All. Akpabio noted that the world now has as a global village and nations face armed conflict, climate disruption and youth disillusionment. Parliaments should legislate to secure the future. He made reference to the partnership in Nigeria between the executive and legislature, which facilitates passage of laws to confront insecurity and rebuild trust. Citing the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons Act, the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act, and the Out-of-School Children Education Act as some outcomes of the collaboration on multilateralism. Akpabio stressed that it must not become a rhetoric, as Nigerian Parliament believes in international solidarity and shared responsibility. He urged parliamentarians to commit to collaboration and the courageous pursuit of solutions that transcend borders and partisan divides. In other news, as momentum continues to build towards actualization of reserved seats for women through legislation, stakeholders are calling for concrete, strategic, legislative and institutional measures to address the persistent gender imbalance in Nigeria's political system. National Assembly correspondent Amina Seidu has all the details.
The bill currently undergoing public discourse seeks to amend existing electoral laws to allocate a specific percentage of legislative seats to women at both federal and state legislatures. If enacted, will mark a significant shift towards inclusive governance by ensuring that women are adequately represented in the National Assembly and other legislative bodies.
It is time to break the barriers that have hindered women's participation in politics and governance. When we break this barrier, we are breaking the barrier to poverty. We are breaking the barrier to zero hunger. And we are breaking the barrier to underdevelopment.
So I advocate and call on all the women of this country to please go out, speak to the men, speak to everybody you can speak to get their support for these 74 reserve seats.
For us here in Nigeria, the reserve seats bill provides a pathway.
Stakeholders of the briefing appealed to lawmakers and political parties to prioritize the passage of House Bill 1349 as a historic and transformative step towards national development. From the National Assembly, Amina Saidu, NTA News.
In other news, the Northern Senators Forum condones the people of Zamfara State, particularly the families of the victims who lost their lives in the recent kidnap incident in Kara, Namoda local government area and killing of at least 35 innocent civilians despite ransom payments. In a statement, Chairman of the Forum, Senator Abdulaziz Jaradwa, notes that the Forum stands in solidarity with the people of Zamfara State during this difficult time and prays Allah grants the departed souls eternal rest. The Forum urges security agencies to collaborate with local vigilantes to ensure that those responsible for these atrocities are brought to justice and calls for proactive approach in response to security threats and intelligence sharing. It also commends efforts of President Bola Tinubu in supporting security agencies, including funding and recent mass recruitments. Elsewhere, Chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri-Arewa, says the blanket outrage against Nigerians living in Ghana and branding them as criminals should be condemned by all. Reacting to a disturbing video on social media showing a protest by some Ghanaians calling on the authority to repatriate Nigerians, Dabiri-Arewa asserts that Nigerians are good ambassadors wherever they find themselves and the bad ones should be fished out to face necessary sanctions. Dabiri-Arewa appeals for calm, urging Nigerians living in Ghana and elsewhere to disregard the video and not be provoked or go into violence with anyone as the issue is being handled at the diplomatic level. The chairman, NIDCOM, says that Ghana and Nigeria are like Siamese twins and in the spirit of ECOWAS and regional integration should continue to live in peace. Similarly, the Senate Committee on Non-Governmental Organizations has condemned the protest and commends the swift intervention by NIDCOM and Minister of State Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Ojukwu, for their timely and diplomatic handling of the situation. As part of Nigeria's diplomatic engagements, and the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to strong relations with Ghana, including with the citizens. This was when Nigeria's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs met with the Inspector General of Police Ghana, Christian Tetu Yohunu, at Kotoka, Accra International Airport. A statement by Magnus Eze, media aide to the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, disclosed this after the minister concluded her two-day visit to Ghana. Magnus Eze noted that the visit was aimed at addressing the welfare and security of the Nigerians in Ghana. Bianca Ojukwu had a high-level meeting with the President of Ghana, as well as the Foreign Minister, including traditional rulers, as well as the Nigerian community based in Ghana. The statement added that the visit was also underscored Nigerian government's concern and proactive approach to citizen relations between the two West African neighbors. And away from the Ghana issue now to a tragic boat mishap. Devastating boat mishap at the collapsed Namnai Bridge along Jalingo-Wukari Road has claimed the lives of 3 individuals, prompting authorities to enforce strict safety regulations against future reoccurrence. The bridge, which collapsed last year precisely in August, has left residents and motorists with the option of relying on boats and canoes as means to cross the river, making safety measures crucial to prevent further tragedies. Ado Adamu also was at the site for an update.
The Namnai Bridge, a major artery connecting the northeast to the southern part of the country, collapsed last year August, forcing travelers to rely on boats and canoes to cross the river. This led to a fatal boat mishap that claimed 3 lives recently.
There is one boat, when it gets lost, it never goes. And before the one is coming down and the water starts pushing the other boat when it gets lost. and the force of the water make that boat where it get load on the water come and push that one.
In response to this tragedy, the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, and the Taraba State Government enforce safety regulations, ensuring operators adhere to strict safety standards.
Because of this particular issue now, we make it a responsibility on a daily basis to be on ground to make sure that there is a safety on the waterways.
Already, the federal government, through the Northeast Development Commission, has begun work on a palliative to serve as a temporary measure before the construction of the main bridge, following earlier visit to the site by the Minister of State Regional Development, Obama Gari Amadou, on behalf of the federal government.
The hope of the people and passengers ferrying this road is attached to the fast completion of the reconstruction of this bridge, especially the palliative route which was started before the incident. Road users here are left with no option than to use this risky way of crossing, and until that is done, the situation remains the same. From the collapsed Namnai Bridge site in Taraba State, Ado Ademwalso, NTA News.
And from Taraba, we head to Yola. The information making rounds that the ongoing construction of a dam in Kosopa district of Fufure local government area resulted to flood disaster experienced recently in Yola South local government area, necessitated the governor of Adamawa State, Amadou Umaru Fintiri, for an on-the-spot assessment on the ongoing structure. Bilkusu Abubakar reports that the authorities concerned are still working to ascertain the level of destruction, especially on houses and valuables.
Apparently, this stopped with the flood that recently claimed 26 lives, affected 13 communities, displaced over 600 people, destroyed houses, farmlands, and valuables, following rumors going around that the ongoing construction of a dam in Kosopa district of Fufore local government area by a Chinese company for mining activities is responsible for the flood. Governor Amadou Umaru Fintiri deemed it necessary to visit the site to see for himself, where he promised to deploy experts for more recommendation.
I don't see any threat here. As regards the spillway, this is natural with every dam. We'll go back and still send more professionals to come and make their own assessment and recommendation.
This is not an illegal mining site. This is a licensed mining site. It's not illegal.
The governor had earlier visited the affected communities and the displaced persons in Yola South local government area, where he said government will set up a technical committee that will investigate the cause of the flood, level of damages, and provide solutions. Residents affected in Yola South are still counting their losses, as 11 people still missing. In Yola, Bilkisu Abubakar, NTA News.
This is News Extra. There's more news in a bit. Please stay with us.
In the beating heart of Owerri, business never sleeps. From sunrise to sundown, the wheels keep turning. And behind the scenes, vision meets action. Governor Hope Uzodimma's leadership has turned manifestos into reality, transformations that feels like a miracle. But progress needs peace, and in Imo, it's not left to chance. From land to sky to river deep, guardians are watching, protecting dreams and opportunity. At Orashi's quiet shore, hydropower is rising, set to energize a growing economy. The change is visible. New roads emerge, industry hums, communities come alive. At the center, a digital revolution. 500,000 young minds trained each year to build the future. As Orashi rises, so does Imo and the hopes of a hard-working people. A new Imo is on the rise.
The Federal Ministry of Works notes with pleasure that a substantial number of its contractors have been paid by the Federal Ministry of Finance. To this end, the Honorable Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, CONFNSEFNATE, directs that all contractors on the federal road and bridge projects should immediately resume work on their various sites, as zonal directors have been deployed to all project sites to monitor compliance. The Honorable Minister also directs that all contractors should meet with the zonal directors at their zonal offices to assess the progress of work and funding. The meeting is scheduled as follows. Time 10 a.m. daily. Date Tuesday 5th and Wednesday 6th August 2025. Furthermore, all contractors on Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited NNPCL funded projects are hereby directed to attend an urgent meeting with the Honorable Minister as follows. Time 5 p.m. Date Tuesday 31st July 2025. Venue Ministers' Conference Room. They are to come along with evidence on the status of their various projects. The Honorable Minister further directs that no work should stop on any NNPCL-funded tax credit scheme project as Mr. President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, has not directed as such. Announcer, Permanent Secretary, Engineer Funsho Adebiyi, FNSE.
The National Agency for the Great Green Wall, in collaboration with the government of Jigawa State, invites the public and stakeholders to the 10th anniversary and Great Green Wall Day celebration with the theme Sustaining the Momentum, 10 years of National Agency for the Great Green Wall's contributions to environmental sustainability. Sub-theme Planting Hope, Growing Impact. Date Thursday 31st July 2025. Time 10 a.m. Venue Banquet Hall, Government House, Dusai, Jigawa State, Nigeria. Special guest of honor and chief host, Executive Governor of Jigawa State, Malam Umar Namadi. Chairman of the occasion, Honorable Minister of Environment, and Haji Balarabi Abbas Nawan. Guest speaker, Professor Adamu Omaru Dizivama, Managing Director, University of Maiduguri Consultancy Services Limited. Host, Saleh Abubakar, MFR, Director General and CEO, National Agency for the Great Green Wall. Honorable Saleh Abubakar, MFR, DG and CEO, National Agency for the Great Green Wall. Announcer.
Maliciously good.
No buy am. But why? No see say this big bull bag of rice no get the new big bull holographic seal. Not true.
Introducing the Big Bull Holographic Seal Tape, your favorite authentic Big Bull rice, 50 kg and 25 kg. Now with holographic seal tape. This is to ensure you get the premium product from Big Bull Rice. Do not buy if the holographic seal tape is not on the bag or is broken. Big Bull Rice. Tasty rice nourished you.
Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Crafted from cocoa, milk, and sugar. Creamy, chocolatey, frothy goodness, rich taste, so satisfying.
Cadbury 3-in-1 Hot Chocolate, the treat you deserve.
Nivea Black and White Deodorant, now with 72-hour protection. But what does that mean? 3 cities in 3 days and no fear of sweat and odor. 120 dances with skin as smooth as the moves. Sweat, stain, and odor protection. Nivea Black and White Deodorant. Skin is for embracing life. Nivea is for skin.
The world needs moms. With a splash of Golden Terra Oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Change no thanks into yes please. Resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. Providing tasty family meals is all that matters. Where there are moms, there is love. Golden Terra Oil, pour pure love.
Thank you for staying with us. We'll now go back to our earlier report on the 2-day interactive session in Kaduna, where a vote of confidence was passed in the Tinubu's administration. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara has that.
The Director General of the Sir Ahmadu Bello Memorial Foundation read the communique.
In conclusion, the summit concluded that Northern Nigeria acknowledges and commends the administration's high performance in fulfilling its electoral promises in many areas and also appreciates subsisting challenges. Participants call for more commitment to transparency, fairness, and equity as elements that would foster national unity and sustenance of our democracy. It further calls for continued collaboration among government, citizens, and all stakeholders.
Earlier, the second day was equally engaging as questions were raised by participants and answers provided by the federal government delegation on matters of governance, particularly on infrastructure.
Kaduna State, 52.7 kilometers. Plateau, 88.4 kilometers. Bauchi, 229 kilometers.
Identified schools in the most deplorable states, 3 in each senatorial district, with the intention of turning them around.
So if you concentrate in the northern Nigeria, the 3 zones, northeast, northwest, and north central, you have a number of projects, apart from these legacy projects we are talking about.
The intention of the government then was to build 1,000 houses in each of these to the areas affected by banditry.
41% of those in the capital city has been completed, and many out of them were being commissioned.
Governance flourishes when it is inclusive. No president, no governor, no minister thrives alone.
Participants demand more of such engagements.
Interfacing with the representatives of northern Nigeria on this platform has been an eye-opener to most of us.
And we truly understand the activities, the benefits, and then the advantage of the Asiwaju, who is equally the Jagaban Bargu government. A lot has been done, but they don't talk much.
This is a giant stride taken by the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's trying to close the gap.
Congratulations to all the people who came. You can imagine, military men seated, Air Force are seated, ministers are seated, and they're not even tired. That is what we want. That is sincerity, and that is commitment.
With the increase in knowledge about the activities of government so far, the event demonstrates the power of effective communication as an inevitable tool in propagating government policies. In Kaduna, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Let's turn our attention to other news now, as the Sultan of Sokoto and President, Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, has called for the cessation of the ongoing hostilities in Gaza, which has left numerous women and children starving to death, with the numbers rising daily. The Sultan, who doubles as co-president of the Religion for Peace World Council, was speaking against the scary statistics published by the World Health Organization at the World Council meeting held in Istanbul, Turkey. Abubakar Akwanga reports.
Meeting, which takes place every 5 years, last held in Indau, Germany, and had about 60 countries in attendance, with faithfuls of numerous religions like the Hindu, Baha'i, Catholics, Anglicans, Jewish, and Muslims, as well as Orthodox Coptic Church in attendance. The Patriarch of the city of Constantinople, Bartholomew I, gave a keynote address espousing the desirability for a global alliance of conscience and restoration of the original value systems embedded in all religions and shared by all humanity in order to achieve peace and social harmony in the world. The 2 main sessions featured extensively examination of the debt burden on low-income societies, as well as a session of faith, dignity, and artificial intelligence, with the attendant concerns of its effect on various cultures and religions. During his presentation within the second session of the debt crisis in underprivileged societies, Sultan Saad examined the impact of huge debt burdens on the economies of developing countries, its consequences, as well as ramifications, and proceeded to recommend immediate debt cancellation for low-income group countries all over the world in order to tackle the wealth imbalance, abolish past exploitative policies, as well as reduce poverty by equitable redistribution of wealth all over the world.
And then whatever money accrued from such reliefs must be used, I say must be used to develop our communities, that people will live a better life. Minimal life somebody wants to live is just to live.
The 2 sessions witnessed robust contributions from technocrats, religious groups, gender advocates, scholars, as well as royalty. At the end of the council meeting, 9-point set of resolutions read by the Secretary General, Dr. Francis Kuria, were unanimously agreed upon by the august body, among which was the resolution to call on world leaders to halt the genocide in Gaza immediately. The Sultan, who is the president of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs in Nigeria, also commended the federal, state and local government councils for their consistent support and efforts in the areas of health and education in the country. Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Meanwhile, more than 200 Bakassi Defense Force ex-militants have been rehabilitated by the Cross River State government through agricultural training in Nasarawa State to enable them contribute to societal development. The ex-militants were charged at the verge of the departure to remain good ambassadors of the state during their training. Paul Abel reports.
In his swearing-in ceremony in 2023, Governor Basiutu gave amnesty and an ultimatum to criminals and militants to drop their arms or face the full wrath of the law. Heeding to the warning, several groups have surrendered, and the Bakassi Defense Force also toed the line of honor, surrendering, which has led to several trainings and this rehabilitation by the state government.
Today we are taking them out to Nasarawa State in Gora, in CSS Global Farm, for innovative and integrated agricultural value chain training. It will last for 2 weeks plus, and there's a plan on ground to empower them.
We had 2 sets of training for them. The first one was to change their mindset because they have been in an environment that has been very hostile. So when they were brought, we gave them initial training, and what is happening today, they are going for a training that will empower them so that they will become self-reliant when they come out.
We are happy that we have a governor, the father, the prince, a tradition man that understands the feelings of his people.
For more than 2 weeks, the ex-militants of the Bakassi Defense Force are expected to acquire knowledge, while those still in the creeks are advised to jump at the olive branch extended to them by Governor Basiutu. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Let's talk health now. It was an emotional scene at the Karshi and Buhari General Hospitals as patients and caregivers expressed deep relief when the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pegason, through its foundation, visited the facilities, paid off patients' medical bills, and donated funds to support the hospitals. Joseph Otsen reports that the primary beneficiaries were critical cases involving patients who could not afford the cost of treatment.
Benjamin Musa is perhaps the happiest father right now. Just a moment earlier, he was preparing to leave the Buhari General Hospital in despair. His pregnant wife needed an emergency operation, but he couldn't afford the bill.
I told them to give me some time. Let's see how it goes. If she can't put to bed. On my way going, they call me back, saying there's people that are ready to help and do everything for me and my wife.
Musa's family is just one of about 30 beneficiaries of the humanitarian intervention by Pengasen Foundation.
We came here and I noticed that she was not breathing normal.
It's the BP, just go up.
Officials from the Oil and Gas Workers Union visited the Karshi and Buhari hospitals, engaging directly with patients and caregivers to identify those in critical need of support, and paid over 5.7 million naira in bills and provided additional financial support to the facilities.
With a lot of rural patients, rural women and children and all that, when they come, they don't even have the resources to pay.
And we'll make sure by God's grace, we'll follow it up, all those people will be clear and they will be discharged.
We have even other general hospitals we have set aside to visit and do similar thing like this, so that we can reach out to Nigerians.
Pengasen says the next stop is Benue State, where similar assistance will be extended to hospitals and internally displaced persons camps, bringing renewed hope to many in desperate need. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
Many thanks to Pengasen there. Fantastic move. Still on health, the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives in the Federal Health Institution sector has commenced a 7-day nationwide warning strike. Haman Jabani reports that the Nigerian Medical Association has also issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government after its emergency delegates meeting.
The National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives had on July 14, 2025, issued a 15-day ultimatum to the federal government demanding immediate intervention to prevent a total shutdown of nationwide of healthcare services. The strike will affect 74 federal hospitals and primary healthcare centers. The industrial action, which has paralyzed services in federal medical centers, teaching hospitals, and specialist hospitals, is in protest over issues bordering on poor remuneration, staff shortages, unpaid allowances, and unsafe working conditions. The union is asking for readdress on some of the long-standing demands, which include the upward review of shift allowance, uniform allowance adjustment, and separate salary structure for nurses, increased call duty allowance, mass employment of nurses, and the establishment of a nursing department in the Federal Ministry of Health, among others.
Peradventure, if nothing happens within these 7 days, of course, we're going to come back to work and then re-strategize, continue negotiation. If peradventure still negotiations does not yield anything positive, our national body will now issue a 21 days ultimatum.
Some relatives of patients speak on how the strike is affecting medical care.
So if peradventure there's need, an emergency for a nurse to give an injection to a patient and the nurse is not there, you start scouting for a doctor that is not readily available.
I was supposed to go theater today to do my hand, but because of the strike, they said, no, we can't go.
The experience is not good. We're calling on the government to try and do something about it. This is National Hospital.
In a related development, the Nigerian Medical Association, after its emergency delegate meeting, issued a 21 notice of total and indefinite strike in line with the relevant labor laws, effective from 27 July 2025, if government failed to comprehensively address its demands. The body is optimistic of a favorable response from the federal government to avert the impending industrial disharmony in the health sector. Hamad Jabani, NTA News.
Away from strikes in the health sector, but still talking health, the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, has arrived to Maiduguri for the inauguration of a series of landmark health projects and the 110th General Meeting of the Committee of Chief Medical Directors of Federal Tertiary Hospitals. Pauline Kuji-Ivana has details.
Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate arrived Muhammadu Buhari International Airport, Maiduguri, accompanied by renowned philanthropist Dr. Emeka Ofo, and received by Governor Babagana Umar Zulum amidst a warm reception by government officials and cultural display by members of the Igbo community in Borno State. The minister's first port of call for the commissioning was the Brigadier Abakari Hospital in Bolori 2, recently remodeled and expanded, now boasts of modern facilities and 10 ambulances to service health emergency within Maiduguri metropolis. At the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Maiduguri, 3 major projects of a molecular and conventional laboratory, a College of Nursing Sciences, and a remodeled General Outpatients Department were inaugurated. Next was the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, UMTH, where 8 landmark projects were commissioned to include Bola Ahmed Tinubu Medical ICT Institute, Interventional Radiology Center, Professor Jibril Aminu Heart Center, Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbe El Kalami Stroke and Neuroscience Center, Linear Accelerator at Betera Aliyu Cancer Center, founded and inaugurated by Dr. Emeka Ofo, MRI machine at the Radiology Department, inaugurated by Ambassador Babagana Kingibe, as well as foundation laying of a lodge. This was followed by the official opening of the 110th General Meeting of the Committee of Chief Medical Directors of Federal Tertiary Hospitals, which drew participants from federal tertiary health institutions across Nigeria, where the Coordinating Minister of Health, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, affirmed that the project commission and the gathering reflect President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda in action.
Health is one sector that the President is trying to use to unify this country, to heal this country, but also to inspire.
I'm pleased to announce that Borno State Government will deposit the sum of 250 million naira at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital to support kidney transplant of 50 patients.
Other speakers, including head of the Civil Service of the Federation, DD Esther Wilson Jack, Borno State Commissioner for Health, Professor Baba Malam Gana, and CMD UMTH, Professor Ahmed Ahijo, among other speakers, emphasized the need for stronger synergy across all tiers of government and stakeholders to combat especially the ongoing brain drain or JAPA syndrome plaguing Nigeria's healthcare sector. The meeting is expected to review progress in tertiary healthcare delivery, align with the federal government's strategic health vision, and enhance collaboration among health institutions and humanitarian partners nationwide. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
In spite of some of the challenges confronting the health sector, which you have seen, Nizamiya Hospital in the FCT is recording impressive feats, administering life-saving Medicare on patients. We're now being joined by the medical director of the hospital, Professor Ibrahim Yanmesh. Many thanks for joining us, Prof.
Good evening. Thank you so much for inviting us. We're very happy to be here.
All right. Many thanks, Prof. I watched a documentary on how open heart surgery was done on a 23 weeks old baby. That's a premature infant.
Yes.
How did your hospital, or if you like, your pediatric team, how were they able to do that?
So thank you so much. We are the one part of the health sector of the Nigeria. Nizamiya Hospital tried to do some extreme treatment of the, especially is premature baby, and you know the premature baby has always some extra problem like a congenital heart disease. So in Nizamiya Hospital we have a very good team, and pediatrician, cardiovascular surgeon, pediatric cardiologist, and intensivist, and also pediatric ICU unit, and a very high equipped ICU unit we have. So this baby was in very bad condition because of the prematurity is the biggest problem, but also the baby had a heart issue. So when we the diagnosed the heart issue, the almost oxygen level was very, very bad condition. So our team made a decision to do heart surgery, and we have 2 cardiovascular surgeons and anesthesiologist, cardiovascular anesthesiologist, and team. So they made a decision and do surgery immediately. And I was there when I see the how increased the oxygen level after these procedures, and baby turned alive again. So it was very, the exciting condition.
Fantastic. Prof, mixed feelings watching that documentary, and of course, at the end of the day, very glad, like the parents of that child. But tell us, how has Nizamiya Hospital, in this challenging economy, been able to equip, your different clinics with the state-of-the-art technology needed for complex surgeries, like the one you just mentioned?
Yes, the Nizamiya Hospital is not only private hospital. Also, one side of our hospital is charity hospital. So, we spent all our, the value for the new technology and tried to improve our service. So every year we expand our service and make a big investment for a new technology, because our target is improve the medical, high-quality medical service in Nigeria. So maybe the biggest, the superiority of our hospital. We are not only private hospital. We are the part of the one charity group. So we are doing many charity organizations. So if we get the money, we can spend the money for the new technology and new dedicated team. We have also many high-quality medical staff, and Nigerian doctors expert doctors, all our doctors working as an in-house doctor. It means 24 hours we are giving the high-quality medical service. For example, this baby almost 4 months, and 7 days, 24 hours. Our doctors inside the hospital and check every single moment of the baby. Otherwise, we cannot get to these results. So 3 pediatricians and also anesthesiologists, intensivists, pediatric cardiologist, cardiovascular surgeon, all of them work together as a team. So it's a big chance for Nigeria. We would like to share our experience because, you know, the medical service, 24 hours. You must give the high-quality medical service.
High-quality medical service. Well done, Prof. Great work you're doing at Nizamiya. But just before we let you go, because of time, let's shift our focus to medical tourism. Tell us, has your institution been able to attract international patients and now, which is, of course, making it a destination for medical tourism into Nigeria?
Yes, last 2 years from Canada and USA, Europe, many patients come to our hospital and get the treatment. And I think the most important things the team worker. We are, you know, we have a big medical team, very high quality doctors and also technicians. So our international department also work very well. They are, you know, accepting patient in airport and visa and all accommodation and all necessary. They can give them to complete service. But especially for medical tourism, we must keep the high quality doctor in Nigeria. And we need to bring the high quality Nigerian doctor again to Nigeria and give them the chance to work with the high quality equipment and high quality team. So this is enough for the medical tourism, because if you are doing good job, people knows and come and you know, they get the service in your hospital.
All right. Many thanks, Professor Ibrahim Yanmesh, for joining us on News Extra. Indeed, Nizamiya is a destination for quality medical care. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's look at other news now. The federal civil servants have been employed to key into the digital initiatives of the civil service towards driving the renewed hope agenda. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, DD Esther Wilson-Jack, gave the advice during an interaction with civil servants at the Federal Secretariat, Maiduguri, as part of her working visit to Borno State. Abubakar Musa reports.
This is the first time DD Esther Wilson-Jack is visiting Borno State since she assumed office as head of civil service of the Federation. The interaction between the head of civil service of the Federation and civil servants brought a lot of pressing issues to the front burner. Head of civil service of the Federation announced that the series of digital initiatives introduced by the federal government under the Renewed Hope agenda is a step further to make the civil service more promising, advising them to align themselves with the broader vision of the Tinubu administration.
We want to ensure that their welfare is top-notch, that they are not left behind in the scheme of things. We have several welfare programs which we have shared with them, and we hope that they would make the best use of the opportunities.
DD Esther Wilson-Jack later tested the ability of the civil servants orally on issues concerning digital literacy, where those that emerged winners received cash prizes. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
In the shadows of Abuja's luxury homes and manicured lawns, a harsh reality festers. An elderly homeless man, frail and forgotten, left to the unforgiving sun and unrelenting rains. His cries for help, a mere whisper, and a bustle around him. NTA's investigative lens zooms in on this poignant plight, asking a pressing question. Who bears the responsibility for Abuja's most vulnerable citizens? Our correspondent scrutinizes the FCT Administration Social Services Framework, investigating the gaps that hinder effective support for those in dire need. Najatu Tijani takes us to the streets.
A rainy day in Abuja, and with it, shelter for many in different forms, but not quite for this citizen. An umbrella, an old wrapper, and a tattered shirt, his only defenses against the elements. An attempt to get him to talk gets negative feedback, and it falls to residents and workers in Zone 4 axis of the FCT to narrate his tale.
He used to beg with a swelling leg, and just like about 5 months ago, the leg swelled up and he couldn't walk.
You sound like this, very neat. But later I can't say I'm with this condition. Sometimes if I depart, he will come and buy food for him. I will buy food. Sometimes he will give me money by himself. I will buy. You understand? But now the thing don't come worse.
Earlier this July 2025, the FCT administration gave a directive to clear the streets of beggars, destitutes, and such vulnerable populations. However, this man, whose identity is yet unknown, has been here for more than 5 months.
His story, a reminder of the grim reality faced by Abuja's homeless citizens. Who then is responsible for providing solutions?
The government can bring something in place to help them.
Let the government interview for this matter. Then the rest of the people, those who are wealthy in the society, they will put their hand.
Government should provide a place for them.
For these things to be happening within the city center should be abnormal.
Fatima, a homeless mother of 7, has a different story.
We used to sleep under the bridge, but they would chase us away. We have nowhere else to go. I lost my house in a flood.
She's referring to the task force charged with sweeping Abuja streets clean of beggars and homeless persons for both their welfare and security of the FCT. They are under the Social Development Secretariat. A quick search on its website, however, does not list any data regarding homeless persons in the FCT. It lists a staff strength of 422 across its 7 departments. Is this number enough to tackle this issue? Staff under the SDS at its headquarters are at an outreach in Kwali Area Council. The NTA crew leaves the premises empty-handed, resolving to keep pushing until a solution is found for the unidentified citizen, Fatima, and countless other homeless persons. This story isn't over. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
Many thanks, Naja'atu, for bringing that to light, and of course, we'll keep our hands on it. Now, in line with Nigeria's ambitious goal to achieve 70% digital literacy by the year 2027, Jigawa State has launched a strategic partnership with the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDDA, to empower young citizens with essential digital skills. Muhammad Musa Askira reports that the initiative known as Digital Literacy for All is currently being piloted in Hadejia, with plans for expansion across the state.
The initiative is being championed by a team of young, experienced voluntary instructors led by Harvard University professor and human rights advocate Hawa Ibrahim. The project is being executed under the supervision of NIDDA's Director General. Over a period of 3 weeks, the team will deliver a special tailored curriculum featuring 40 intensive digital learning modules. This pilot phase targets 1,000 pupils from rural communities in Hadejia local government area. Governor Umar Namadi has commended the program, describing it as a vital component of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda and a testament to Jigawa's commitments to inclusive and future-focused education.
We have a digital literacy for all initiative that we have been championing. So this initiative tries to ensure that all Nigerians, irrespective of their locations, irrespective of what privileges they have, are carried along in trying to ensure that we achieve 70% digital literacy by the year 2027.
Because from the content of the curriculum and from what is happening practically, is one of the things we need at this time in this country. You catch them young. By the time you instill this kind of discipline and training in the children, they will certainly become good leaders for tomorrow.
With digital innovation now a cornerstone of socio-economic development, the program aims to nurture a generation of critically minded young Nigerians who are prepared to thrive in an increasingly digital global economy. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has appointed the Pro-Chancellor, Governing Council members and principal officers of the Federal University of Environment and Technology, Kuruma Sakwanwa Ogoni in Rivers State. Professor Don Mon Baridam from the South-South is the Pro-Chancellor and the Chairman of the Governing Council, while Professor Chinedu Mom, also from the South-South, will serve as the Vice-Chancellor. Baridam is a professor of management with a specialization in organizational behavior. He previously taught at the University of Port Harcourt in Rivers State, while Mom is a professor in the Department of Geography and Environmental Management at the University of Port Harcourt, and also was a former commissioner for education in Rivers State. The Governing Council comprised a diverse team with members from different regions of the country. Meanwhile, the new university will admit its first cohort of students in September 2025. President Tinubu signed the bill establishing the university into law on February 3, 2025. Let's pause again. There's more news on the other side. Please remain tuned.
Husband's germ-filled journey to work and the sweaty journey back home. What else can give you all-day-long protection?
Germs are everywhere, but the Dettol 12-Hour Protector Shield shields your family every day. Dettol, be 100% sure.
Happiness, nourishing family. Golden penny, yummy golden penny, delicious golden penny. Serving happiness, golden penny, yummy golden penny, delicious golden penny. Share you one stuck in between. Golden penny.
Golden Penny, home of good foods, serving happiness, nourishing families. Yum!
My morning ritual starts here, surrounded by Life-Made furniture. From my wardrobe to my bed, Life-Made Furniture's whole house customization designs every piece to perfection. I love that in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Ibadan, and Kano, there's Life-Made Furniture.
For a whole house customization and furniture projects, call 081 2000 6000 or visit elifemade.com. Life-Made, your life made forever.
Good, tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Smart Balance. Smart Balance rice bran oil is rich in gamma-oryzanol. Several studies suggest that gamma-oryzanol may contribute to the reduction of bad cholesterol. Golden Terra Smart Balance oil. Good food, no worries.
Imagine lovely meals you can cook with these ingredients. You spend heavily, but no guarantee of a tasty meal. Not making a right choice of seasoning cube can ruin your meal, money, and confidence. For a tasty meal, do not compromise. Choose Gold.
Use Terra Gold for the rich, consistent taste your loved ones crave for. Good for soups, stews, and jollof. Terra Gold. 1 cube, endless possibilities.
And tasty, something to fill my belly. I want my golden penny noodles full of flavor, the pecan. I want what I want. Golden penny noodles is sweet, though. It was made for me. I want what I want. Golden penny noodles is sweet, though. It was made for me. I want what I want.
You know Total Football. Fast, fluid, and game-changing. Experience Total Betting with the LiveScore Bet app. Scores and stats play alongside great odds and a sleek bet builder. Or switch your play with our Aviator and slot games. With Halftime Heroes, a 250 ACA bonus, and fast payouts, winning big has never been easier. Now, to win big, everything in your hand.
Mariam Babangida National Center for Women Development is organizing summer classes for ICT, which will cover computer coding, website design, computer office packages, and multimedia technology. The center will also run vocational classes in hairdressing, barbing, bagging and shoemaking, electrical, catering, tie and dye, soap making, interior and outdoor decoration, ribbons and turbans, art and craft, painting, and dressmaking. For further information, please contact 080-351-42552 for ICT. And for vocational training, you can contact 080-5630-5869 or 080-2077-8455. Announcer Mariam Babangida, National Center for Women Development.
Glad to have you back. Concerns about the safety of genetically modified crops remain prominent in the minds of many Nigerians, despite the fact that the federal government has integrated the technology into its food production strategy. However, an agency has been established to regulate its production, marketing, and distribution in the country. And this has brought about increased awareness of GMO safety, particularly in relation to religious beliefs. Musa Babali will tell us about it.
3 factors influence the decisions of most Nigerians regarding their actions, diet and attire, culture, religion, and traditional beliefs. These factors have sparked a debate about the consumption of genetically modified crops.
I'll look at my head because I don't know the way they process the food, how it's being processed.
Since 2015, the federal government has incorporated genetic engineering into its food production strategy. Islamic scholars state that there is no food crop that is prohibited, only those that are harmful to the health of the consumer or intoxicating. Ibrahim Khalil is a scholar at the Islamic Education Trust in Minna, Niger State.
Grains like what is called millet, grains like what is called guinea corn, if you can convert it into what? To intoxicate one, then it's considered to be what? Haram. But if you can be able now to cook it, yes, you can eat it, you can do so many other things with it.
And here in Abuja are representatives from the National Biotechnology Development Agency and the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology, discussing the technology behind GMOs with some Islamic clerics.
It is our shared responsibility to ensure that any agricultural biotechnology product we embrace align fully with these higher objectives of Sharia, protecting lives, health, and dignity.
So scientists have discovered new genetic engineering methods that provide resistance to viral diseases.
Under the law, no farmer or processor is permitted to produce genetically modified crop or products without approval or licensing from the relevant government agencies. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Many thanks, Musa Baba Aliyu. In that report, you saw the Director General of the National Biotechnology Development Agency, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, and we have him right here with us for a quick discussion. Many thanks, Prof, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, now talking about GMOs, many Nigerians don't understand. Why is there an issue in accepting GMOs in the country?
Well, to be honest with you, there is not any issue. The only thing is that people are given a choice. You choose between what you want, most especially for the farmers. You know, in Nigeria, we are trying to find a common ground for fighting food insecurity. And that is why technology now is used to boost the production of food crops in the country. And this technology is called biotechnology because it's genetic engineering that is inserted to make sure that we improve yield, to make sure that it is pest resistant, and also it is resistant to drought. So all this technology is just to improve food production. And if at all we are trying to do that, and some people feel like, okay, they want to remain conservative, what they were used to, probably using crop that is not improved, crop that is not resistant to all these issues, that is reducing the yield, reducing the quality, then so be it. We don't compel anybody to use it, but we encourage through awareness to make sure that people use it so that we can have maximum output for our people to fight hunger.
Fantastic, Prof. Away from religious belief, which you mentioned, some people consider the health implications. Are GMOs healthy?
GMO is very healthy. It's just like any other conventional crop. And in many countries, GMO is being used. In many countries, GMO is being produced, planted by the farmers, and even exported to other countries. To give you an example, most advanced country in the world is United States of America, and they are producing a lot of GMOs. And this GMO is being bought by many countries like Europe and China. For example, if you take corn, corn is being produced in America, and a large quantity, about 96% of the corn that is being produced in America is GMO. And about 94% of the soybean that is produced in America is GMO, and it's being sold worldwide, and people are buying it. I'm sure we have been even buying from Mexico, from Argentina, from Brazil, and these countries are also using GMO technology to produce corn, and we are importing from this country.
Fantastic. So it's healthy. Good to know. Since your agency is in charge of the production of GMOs, tell us how many of these GMOs do we have released at the moment in the country, and what crops?
Yeah, because of the safety, we took a long time for the research activity to materialize, to make sure that it's very safe. So we've started with release of BT cotton, because we facilitated the importation of BT cotton. We wanted to improve the production of cotton in the country to bring back our moribund garment industry. That one is in the country, and people are farming, producing it. Then there comes the BT cowpea, which is beans. This BT cowpea also is released, and farmers have been producing it, and that is why you don't hear anybody saying that there is shortage of cowpea in the country. And this is a great improvement, advantage for the country. We no longer import cowpea in the country. This is as a result of that release of BT cowpea, because it's high yielding, it's resistant to Maruca bitrata, which farmers, if you talk to them, they will tell you that they are no longer suffering from that insect which attack the pod of the cowpea when it starts producing. And then corn, that is telemaize, that is being released in the country. These are the three crops that is being released in the country.
All right. Many thanks, Prof. There's actually no more time to take more questions, but I'm sure this is affecting food security. It's improving it, right?
Yes, of course.
All right. Many thanks, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, Director General, National Biotechnology Development Agency. It was indeed a pleasure to have you on News Extra. Many thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's see other news now. Nigeria has opened conversation to adopt and deploy battery energy storage systems to stabilize national grid and ensure its efficiency. Industry players identify challenges of frequency fluctuations, peak load pressures, among others, which necessitates the need for Nigeria to deploy battery energy storage systems. Correspondent Joshua Ojito reports that the storage systems will enhance integration of renewable energy into the grid as Nigeria targets 30,000 megawatts generation from renewables.
We want to target energy dispatch. I'm not talking about peak now. Energy of about 52.56 terawatt hour, and sustaining connected disco load to 8.5 gigawatts. Lower transmission losses below 7%, and we want to maintain the frequency escalation within the stipulated grid code limits.
Battery energy storage system offers us a powerful means to address these persistent challenges. They enable frequency regulation, reserve capacity, and voltage support, directly strengthening grid performance and unlocking more efficient use of our transmission assets.
We have committed $1.2 million grants under the Africa Energy Transition Catalyst Program to support this feasibility study.
This feasibility study will deliver a comprehensive technical, regulatory, financial, and environmental analysis of battery energy storage deployment across Nigeria. Specifically, it will identify priority locations nationwide for base installations.
With stakeholders is to harmonize views that will be incorporated in the feasibility study for adoption in the next 6 months. Elsewhere, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has officially ruled out sale of Port Harcourt Refining Company, reaffirming its commitment to completing high-graded rehabilitation and retention of the plant. The Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited, Bashir Bayo Ojulari, announced this at the company's town hall meeting at the NNPC Towers in Abuja. He noted that the position isn't a shift, rather it's informed by ongoing detailed technical and financial reviews of the Port Harcourt, Kaduna and Warri refineries. In a press statement by the company, the ongoing review indicates that the earlier decision to operate the Port Harcourt refinery prior to full completion of its rehabilitation was ill-informed and sub-commercial. The company reiterated that although progress has been made on all 3 refineries, the emerging outlook calls for more advanced technical partnerships to complete the high-grade rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery. Thus, selling it is highly unlikely, as it would lead to further value erosion. All right, we have more business news, and Musa Abubakar is ready to serve us that. Musa.
Thank you, Harry. Let's begin with Food Systems Summit. The United Nations Food Systems Summit has ended in Addis Ababa with a call to action for stakeholders to accelerate progress towards attaining sustainable food systems that meets each country's needs.
Five out of the 8-point agenda of Mr. President deals with agriculture. And the lowest hanging fruit there is production, aggregation, storage, processing, and marketing, and at the end of it, export. And I believe that with the trajectory that is going on, with all the far-reaching changes Mr. President has done within the economy, we should be able to achieve much more within the next 2-3 years. And this, I think, is what is exciting development partners and the interest that has generated in trying to partner with Nigeria. We didn't come here cap in hand with a begging bowl, but we showcasing what we were able to achieve and also the potential that exists in Nigeria. We have 70 million hectares, of which only 50% is under cultivation, and the 35 million hectares that is there is open for more productivity, more production, and more food for Nigeria, and also for export.
You see a number of states, see Niger states, see the procurement that we went to Cross River. Then even Borno State, where we are saying a crisis area, if you see what the governor of Borno is doing in the area of the agri-food system, you'll be surprised.
At this point, I want the rest of Africa to model after Nigeria, where taxes are free for small business holders. Are you impressed about that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, they spoke about the program for that they are running for the youth, how they are accelerating, giving them money and resources to run their small businesses. And I loved what they were explaining on those programs, because they are rooted in accountability, into scale, and ensuring that the impact is not just in Nigeria, they are also able now to feather it out. Or no, they are able to bring it in other states, because I know they spoke about 8 out of 36 states are able to experience this, the innovation.
That's at the capital market. The Nigerian capital market wrapped up trading on a strong note as bullish sentiment dominated the floor of the exchange. The all-share index climbed to solid 139,278.67 points, reflecting growing investor confidence in the midst of economic recalibration. It was a trading session marked by heavy participation and strong volumes. A whopping 922 million shares were traded across 36,423 deals, pushing the market turnover to a robust 36.4 billion naira. Investors were clearly in a buying mood, riding the wave of optimism around earnings season, monetary stability, and renewed foreign interest in Nigerian equities. With the equity market recapitalization now standing at an impressive 88.05 trillion naira, the NGX is steadily reclaiming its position as a top investment destination in Africa. In aggregate, 127 NGX-listed equities participated in trading, ending with 39 gainers and 32 losers. Now, that's a quick look at business news. It's back to you, Henry.
Many thanks, Musa, for the update. Democracy is crucial for Nigeria's development, but the connection between government and the people need constant lubrication. Efforts to bridge this gap informs this visit by the National Orientation Agency to the INEC headquarters, Abuja, in order to deepen collaboration in sensitizing citizens on their civic responsibility. Timothy Yusuf reports.
This strategic media engagement with the people by the present administration's ministers, tagged Ministerial Press Briefing, has been a way to reaching out to citizens by government with expected feedback.
I would like to see it prominently placed somewhere.
The National Orientation Agency is poised to take the initiative of connecting with the people further against the backdrop that democracy remains the best system of government. INEC, as the election management body, is deemed by NOA as a strategic partner.
We must put our resources, our expertise on the table for INEC and ensure tighter collaboration in terms of ensuring that Nigerians are enlightened and educated on all the basic information that they must be equipped with.
Although Nigeria's democracy still faces some challenges ranging from electoral malpractices, vote buying and rigging, compromising democratic stability and citizen safety.
Another area where we need to strengthen our partnership is voter mobilization. While INEC will continue its voter education efforts, the National Orientation Agency should, working with other stakeholders such as political parties, civil society organizations, and the media, help in the area of voter mobilization. The aim is to increase voter turnout and greater participation of the underrepresented demographics in our electoral process, particularly youth, women, and persons with disability.
Democracy is essential for Nigeria's development, stability, and prosperity. Stakeholders here believe that it requires continuous strengthening and improvement. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Let's head to the courtroom now, as the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has affirmed Musa Mohammed as the duly elected president of the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, bringing an end to a protracted leadership tussle within the transport union. Delivering judgment in an appeal, the three-man panel of justices of the Intermediate Court struck out the case instituted by Eriyo Osakwawa, describing it as academic and lacking in practical relevance, as the tenure in dispute had already lapsed and a fresh election had since been conducted. The panel, presided over by Justice Haman Akawu Baraka, unanimously agreed that the subject of the appeal had been overtaken by events and that continuing with the matter would serve no useful legal purpose. In the lead judgment, Justice Abba Bello Mohammed held that courts are not forums for academic debates, but for resolving live disputes with legal consequences. The leadership dispute traces back to 2020's decision of the National Industrial Court, which declared the emergence of Osakwawa and Yusuf Ibrahim Adeniyi as National President and Secretary General of RTEN, respectively, as illegal. The court upheld the resolutions of RTEN's National Executive Council, NEC, from 2018 and 2019, which recognized Musa Mohammed as the association's legitimate president. Let's pause again. There's more news shortly. Please remain tuned.
Guys, food is ready.
Suitable for jollof rice, stew, spaghetti, and yam portage. Cooked to impress.
TerraQ, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
Dear Nigerians, we need you to join us in sanitizing the Nigerian advertising space. The spate of advertisement on the online media space is not only worrisome, but have negative effects on our health, culture, religion, values, and life as Nigerians. This has been due to unverified claims, misinformation, disinformation, superlative advertisement, etc. Many people have lost their hard-earned income due to fraudulent advertisements. Many are suffering medical and critical health issues. Some advertisements have abused our religion, cultural beliefs, and some have used pornography in advertisements against the Nigerian Code of Advertising, among other challenges. We cannot continue to allow this to impact our lives, values, and our economy negatively. ARCON is the Federal Government Regulatory Council of Nigeria, set up to regulate the Nigerian advertising industry. We need your support to promote responsible and ethical advertising.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Thank you for remaining tuned. A delegation of the Tinubu National Solidarity Movement has reassured Nigerians of its support for President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, urging Nigerians to rally behind the administration's policy reforms aimed at repositioning the country for sustainable development. During a courtesy visit to the management of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, the delegation emphasized that the current administration is making bold and intentional moves to address long-standing structural challenges facing the nation. The group noted that the renewed hope agenda is anchored on critical pillars including economic revitalization, infrastructure development, and institutional accountability. These policy directions, the delegation say, are already yielding results.
Determined, that is focused, highly focused. That's why they are fighting him. We discover this. That's why we say we must mobilize support for the president. And what we are doing, we are mobilizing Nigerian people to support him.
We also appreciate you for recognizing our organization as one of the best, that even at the remote area, NTA is accessible. We appreciate you for that. And we also want to make an appeal, especially for these organizations that are very close to those that are in corridor of power, to also excel some of the ideas.
Dennis Temple reports that the group also commended the Nigerian Television Authority for maintaining professionalism in its coverage and for playing a vital role in informing the public about national issues. Now, Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, wants parents to teach their children the importance of kindness and compassion, noting that through friendship, a united and more peaceful world can be built. In marking this year's International Day of Friendship, the First Lady says it is a reminder of the bonds that unite people across cultures, religion, tradition, borders and backgrounds. While noting that the present world is often divided by conflicts and misunderstanding, the First Lady urges Nigerians to embrace empathy, celebrate diversity, and promote harmony in various communities. Now time to talk sports, and Badi is here. Badi.
Many thanks, here. Let's begin with football, as the 2025 FCTFA Division 1 and 2 leagues came to an end on Wednesday, with both finals taking place. Sporting Ushafa FC beat Golden Boys 2-0 in the Division 1, while One Touch Worldwide FC defeated Federal Housing Authority FC 3-0 to emerge champions of Division 2. The league, which saw more than 60 football clubs across the FCT fight for a place in the Nationwide League 1, organizers say delivered a highly competitive grassroots football.
Final, so we put in our best and our all to make sure we win this final. It was a great one and a great effort.
This is a grassroots competition purely that is taking place in every state of the federation, and the principal aim is to be able to see the champion that will go and represent FCT in the NLO 2.
Now, after 2 weeks of intense open trials in Abuja, the Nigeria Customs Service has unveiled 18 players selected from an initial pool of 51 to form the core of its revamped men's volleyball team. The overhaul, backed by the Comptroller General, aims to restore the team's dominance in the 2025 CGC Volleyball Premier League and push for continental glory. National team player Philip Ayobami Akonde has been named captain as the service sets its sights on silverware, not just locally, but on the continent.
The CGC proud. We've won medals in athletics, in basketball. Now we want to do that for the men's team for volleyball.
It has been very, very challenging and very, very competitive.
We have somehow found what we are looking for at 85–90%.
We're ready to win for the CG Force and for the Nigeria Customs Service from grass to glory.
That does it on Sports Tonight. Let's return to Nyera.
Many thanks, Badi, for that. And, of course, that's News Extra tonight. Many thanks for being a part of it. August is just some hours away. See you next Wednesday. I'm Henry John. Have a good night.